Hi, it's Molly here at Elevated Mind and Movement, and in today's Yoga for Mental Health series, we are going to be doing a short yin practice with journaling. So one of the nice things about a yin practice is you don't have to be warmed up, you want to go into it kind of cold, and you're going to be holding the postures for a while. So it gives you time to do mental things. So it lends itself really well to journaling. So today we're just going to do a little bit of basic journaling that I like to do at the change of the seasons, just to kind of help me reevaluate what I'm going to be looking forward to in the next season, or what maybe I want to let go of. So you can do this practice and substitute in your own journaling prompts if you want, or you can follow mine, totally fine. But let's give this a try. So I have some pillows here and some books because it can be nice to prop yourself up. So what I'm gonna start by doing is, because we're writing, I'm going to kind of create a little shelf here for myself with some pillows so that I have something to kind of put my arms on. And our first pose that we're going to get into is pigeon. So if you have never done this before, we're going to start on all fours. And we're going to start on the right side. So we're going to bring our right leg up, so our right knee, up to our right wrist. And then we're just going to kind of move the shin out so that it's somewhat parallel to the top of the mat. Remember, in yoga, this is your alignment. So for some people, it feels better to bring the foot back a little bit. For some people who like a little more stretch, they like to scoot the foot forward. So the left leg is extended back, and you're just going to kind of settle in here. And where you should be feeling this is kind of in your right hip. If anything hurts, back out of the pose, and you shouldn't be feeling this in the knee at all. Now, because this is yin and I'm coming into this a little bit cold, my hip may not touch the ground. So I have these other books here that I'm just going to tuck under my hip so that I'm kind of sitting on them. So I've got this little shelf up here, and I've got my notebook and pen. And so I'm going to kind of get myself cozy here, shift around just a little bit to make sure that you are in a comfortable position, because we'll be here for a few minutes. And just lean forward. Now, my first journaling prompt is, what can I let go of? So if I'm thinking about kind of what I've been building up over the last season, or what some of my goals over the last season were, it can be helpful as I move into a new season to think about, what am I ready to let go of right now? So even if this isn't about the seasons, maybe it's a transition in your life, what's not serving you in your life right now that you feel like, I would like to see a little less of this in my life? So we're going to take 3 to 5 minutes to kind of journal on this. So get your pen and paper out and start writing. What can I let go of? And if at any time the pose starts feeling really uncomfortable, you can let go of the pose too. or so to finish out the thought that you were writing on. And when you're ready, press yourself back up. If you're sitting on books or a pillow, move those out of the way. Roll back onto your hip. Take a deep breath. Notice what feels different from one side to the other. If it helps to kind of shake it out a little bit, that can feel nice. Rock back and forth. Take another deep breath. And let's move on to the other side. So I'm gonna scoot my books over here so they're ready for this hip. Coming back onto all fours. This time we're gonna take the left knee, bring it up toward the left arm. Bring the shin parallel to the front of the mat if that feels comfortable. And then kind of scoot the right leg back. And if it feels good, scoot those books under that hip. In fact, this hip's a little tighter, so I'm going to put a pillow under there too. And then we move on to our next journaling prompt. So for this side, I want you to journal on what you want more of in your life. So we just made a list of all the things that you can let go of. And a lot of times we let go of things because we want to make room for something else. So what is it that you would like to have more of in your life right now? Or what you would like to be able to fill some of that space with now that you have more time and energy from giving up all those other things. So settle in, get yourself comfortable, and let's spend a few moments writing on what you want or need more of in your life. another moment to finish your thoughts on this side. And gently press yourself up. Take any props you have out of the way. Sit back. Shake out your legs if that feels good. Rock back and forth. And just take a moment to see how that feels in your body. Just breathe. You can move your ankles and your feet around a little bit if that feels good. Then we're going to set up for our next posture. So this one is called bound ankle pose. So you just bring your feet together to touch, legs out to the side. If your knees don't come down to the ground, it feels really nice to stack some pillows under there. And if you need to get a writing space that comes up a little further for you, you can stack up some books. If you have bolsters or blankets or yoga props at home, this would be a great place for some blankets. This would be a lovely place for some blocks or a bolster. If you need to move it inward, that's totally fine. Get this to a place that feels comfortable for you. And our prompt for this pose is, what would it look like in my life if I had what I needed? So if we take all of those things that from our first journaling prompt, we let go of all the stuff we don't need. And if we brought in all the things that we want more of from our second pose, what would it look like? What would look different in our lives if we had all the things that we need? So just for a moment, let's journal on what would look different in our life if we had what we needed. While you're in this pose, if it feels good to be upright, that's great. If you want a little more stretch, you can lean forward. That feels good too. It's just whatever feels good in your body today. moment to finish up writing on this prompt. And when you feel ready, sit up, pull your props out, and release this pose from your body. Wiggle out the legs, shake out the hips a little bit. For our last journaling prompt and pose, we're going to come down onto the floor on our bellies in a pose called Sphinx. So roll on over to your stomach and just kind of lay down here on the floor for a moment. Take a moment to just rest here. Wiggle out the hips a little bit. And then bring your hands right under your shoulders and press up. You want your elbows directly under your shoulders, hands out in front of you, and your writing space right in front of you. If you need to use any bolsters or pillows or anything to help keep the chest up, sometimes it can feel really nice to just kind of stuff a pillow under there. That can feel good. If not, then don't. And our last prompt is, what are ways that I can start working toward that last image that we worked with now? So you thought about what would look different in your life if you let go of the things you don't need and you had more of the things you do need. What are some ways that maybe you could be working toward what that looked like to you right now? So this is kind of a brainstorming for moving forward. Maybe we don't have all of those things yet, but we know what it would look like if we did. So maybe when we brainstorm, we come up with some ideas about how to start moving toward that image of what our life would look like. So spend a few moments brainstorming. or so to finish up your thoughts on this prompt. If you need more time with any of these prompts, feel free to take as much time as you need to come back to these and work with them. For now, if you feel ready to end, we're going to press ourselves up to all fours from this position. Move any props out of the way. We're going to sit kind of on our knees here and curl down into a child's pose. Bring your head to the ground if it reaches. You can also, if it feels comfortable, move your knees apart from each other and reach out to come down. And just take a moment here to thank yourself for showing up to your mat today, for allowing your body to have the experience of working into all of your tissues, and for giving yourself time to think about what you need, what you want, and what you would like your life to look like. Take a deep breath here. Press up to sitting. And move forward into your day with deep gratitude that you spent some time with yourself today, focusing on helping yourself feel what you need to feel. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon.